There's a straight left. I thought Lima was going to land it, but he got caught by Ennis.
Beautiful uppercut.
And he got dropped in round number 1.
As soon as Booster's left-handed, both of them exchange left hands.
What a debut for Boots. Can he seal the deal right away? This crowd is on fire, and so is Ennis. And down again goes Lima. And maybe he is the best fighter we've ever seen. Eddie Hearn seems to think so, and he's just done it. Round 1, destruction.
Hey, so we have an update regarding Jaron Boots Ennis and his next fight, because there's been a lot of excitement and buzz about the possibility of Jaron Boots Ennis taking on Vergil Ortiz Jr. I mean, we all know that that fight was supposed to happen, but now it's gone. And the reason why it's gone, we'll tell you everything about boxing as we know today. Guys, it's unfortunate, but we're probably not going to see that fight happen. But there is other news surrounding Jaron Boots Ennis's potential next fight. So anyways, guys, welcome back. Welcome to Duality 7X. I'm your host, Shiraz. I want to thank you guys for joining us. If you guys are new to the channel, please make sure to smash a like and subscribe. Hit the notification so you guys never miss a beat. Now, Jaron Boots Ennis is finally close to returning to the ring, but not the fight that fans were waiting for. I'm in that category as well too, myself, and I'm sure the teens of thousands of people around the world who are probably really excited about the possibility of seeing Jaron Boots Ennis, arguably probably one of the greatest fighters in this era, to lock horns with Vergil Ortiz Jr., another rising superstar. But this fight didn't just fall apart. It exposed a bigger issue in what's going on in the world of boxing that keeps happening over and over and over again, to the point where people are getting fed up. They're getting upset, they're getting pissed off, and they're just moving on. And for these guys, it seems like they've been moving on as well too. So anyways, like, what's replacing Jaron Boots Ennis versus Vergil Ortiz Jr.? Like, what other fight could be just as big, if not bigger, that could potentially replace that fight, right? Because the other question comes down to is, why? Why didn't this fight between Ennis and Ortiz Jr. happen? Why didn't it come to fruition? Like, what's going on with the boxing promoters? What's going on with the management team? Like, there's obviously a lot of drama, and usually this is where a lot of fights would be potential great fights get bottlenecked, is because of their promoters and all the red tape that kind of goes on with all the different politics between managers, promoters, and being able to, and arguing over nickels and dimes, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. Anyways, guys, this is where things stand right now as we speak. Jaron Boots Ennis is coming off a very unbelievable win over Usman Lima, which was a first-round stoppage that happened last year, and that was supposed to be his tune-up fight until he takes on Vergil Ortiz Jr. And it wasn't just a tune-up fight, because there was a lot of people who were talking about Usman Lima coming in there. Like, people thought, oh, you know what, this guy looks different. This guy could potentially disrupt Jaron Boots Ennis's plans, but on the contrary, guys, Jaron Boots Ennis looked like a machine. He went in there and he just cleaned up house. You guys can see the video that in the beginning, and you'll see what a phenom this guy is. Now, before that fight, Jaron Boots Ennis unifies titles at 147 pounds, and then talking about moving up to 154. And now Jaron Boots Ennis's promoter, Eddie Hearn, says that he's coming back very, very soon, possibly as early as June this year, and that's going to be a huge fight, guys. There's going to be a lot of crazy things that are happening in that time frame. Like, I mean, in May, you've got Alexander Usyk taking on Verhagen. That's going to happen in Egypt with the pyramids as the backdrop. That's going to be for the WBC title. You've got Ronda Rousey is going to be headlining against Gina Carano on Jake Paul's MVP promotions fight. Francis Ngannou's fighting. There's a lot going down, guys. A lot's happening during that time. You also have during that time as well too. You've got none other than the UFC Freedom 250 White House card, and guys, everybody's looking forward to this card. It's absolutely crazy. And speaking of that, and I don't want to go off the beaten path here, but tune into my video tomorrow because I'm actually talking about Jon Jones and Alex Pereira, the fight that was supposed to happen, the fight that was supposed to headline the UFC 250 White House card, but didn't. And Jon Jones was saying that, oh, you know, the UFC, they screwed me and this and that. And I was actually negotiating with them. And then Dana White comes out and says, we weren't negotiating with them. We negotiated with everybody. We talked to everybody. That doesn't mean it's negotiating. And Dana White said, I said it from the very beginning, and I'm saying it now, and I'll continue to say it. I don't know how many times I need to be asked the same question, but we are not interested in bringing back Jon Jones. And he said, I made myself perfectly clear Jon Jones will not be fighting in the UFC again. But according to Jon Jones, they were negotiating. The UFC offered Jon Jones $15 million, guys, an 8-figure deal one time to fight Alex Pereira to headline that card. But Jon Jones, apparently, according to Jones, he declined the offer because he said the fight was worth more. You're getting paid 8 figures, guy. $15 million to fight Alex Pereira, but it wasn't enough? Anyhow, guys, I don't know. We'll dive into that story tomorrow, guys, but it's crazy. It's just crazy. And if honestly, if that was the case, if that's true, and Jon Jones declined to fight Alex Pereira because he felt that that money was too low for him to fight, well, now he's not going to get paid anything. And Alex Pereira already has another opponent. So, anyways, guys, that's a tomorrow discussion. But going back to Jaron Ennis here and Vergil Ortiz Jr., like, what's going on? Everybody wanted Jaron Ennis Jr. and Vergil Ortiz Jr. Eddie Hearn just came out, made an announcement, and said Jaron Ennis is set to fight very, very soon. We're talking about the possibility of June. And here we are, guys. So both of these guys, as we know it, are the rising stars in the boxing world, okay? Both are undefeated. Both are extremely dangerous. And they even had face-to-face moments. If you guys remember, the last time these guys met, the last time Jaron Ennis and Vergil Ortiz Jr. met was when Vergil Ortiz Jr. Was fighting Erickson Lubin back in November of 2025, and he ended up winning that fight by way of knocking out Erickson with a beautiful, devastating right hook, and that happened in round number 2. Anyhow, after the fight, during the post-interview, during the interview and everything like that, the post-fight interview, shall I say, Vergil Ortiz Jr. is like, come here, Boots. He actually called him over like he was his son or something. Called him over. Both were seen face to face, and everyone thought, okay, this is it. This fight is going to lead to the next big one, and it's going to be these two guys, right? And this is where it gets really important, guys, because when fights like this don't happen at the right time, they don't always come back around, okay? And now that perfect moment might already be gone and gone into the ether, completely finished. I don't know what happened, but when these guys were in the ring, social media almost broke. The internet almost broke. I mean, this is what people wanted. This is what was supposed to happen. And I mean, a lot of people can say, well, it's a part of bad timing. It's just, different weight classes. Or, I mean, look, I personally feel that there was a mix of business decisions. There was the discussions of risk management happening between promoters and their fighters and their management teams, boxing politics. All of this and everything more were contributing factors to the reason why we're not going to see Jaron Boots Ennis or Vergil Ortiz Jr. in the ring, at least not anytime soon, right? So look, first of all, let's talk about the promoters. Jaron Boots Ennis is tied into Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing. Vergil Ortiz Jr. is tied to Oscar De La Hoya of Golden Boy. All right? That alone complicates things beyond proportions. Now, both of these guys have fought on the zone, so that's not even an issue. The zone would carry this fight. It's just the zone wants this fight. They've been saying this is the fight that we want, but for whatever reason, the promoters were at a lock with their fighters and with one another and with their management teams, right? And look, both of these fighters, guys, are the next big thing. Both of these guys are rising superstars, undefeated superstars, I should add. And nobody wants to take none of these fighters want the short end of the stick. You know, I don't know why you can't just break that stick in half, but for whatever reason, there has to be a short end of the stick and a better end of the stick. And no fighter wants to be on the bottom half of that stick. Okay. Anyhow, this is really terrible because, I mean, ever since November, things have been escalating or spiraling down between the relationship with Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy, and Vergil Ortiz Jr. and his manager. And so there's things that they need to figure out within their contractual agreements and contract, but apparently Oscar De La Hoya has been on the record saying that he won't be able to work with Vergil Ortiz Jr.'s manager. They don't see eye to eye. And Vergil Ortiz Jr. actually, I think, recently came out and said he doesn't want to be represented by Oscar De La Hoya or Golden Boy anymore. So they want to break free of that contractual agreement. Now, there's a lot more to play when it comes to this, but they're saying that the fact that the Jaron Boots Ennis fight is not happening should give them the opportunity to be able to finish off their contract with one another and void that contract so that it's null and void, because part of that agreement, part of that contract was for this fight to happen, apparently. But I don't know. It's all unfolding between the judge's eyes in the court of law, and hopefully we'll get to a decision soon. But it's really sad that this has to happen, because this is a huge another reason as to why this fight's not going to happen between Ennis and Ortiz Jr., but also it kind of locks Ortiz Jr. and prohibits him from being able to fight anyone right now at this time, because he's technically contractually obligated to fight under Golden Boy. But if they're in a lawsuit, how are they supposed to move forward with taking on another opponent? So it's really sad, but this young man's future is kind of at the mercy of the judicial system at this time. But that said, Jaron Boots Ennis and Eddie Hearn, they have a very good relationship, and they're moving forward, right? So anyways, guys, both of these, like, let me put it this way, right? There was another risk associated with the Vergil Ortiz Jr. and Jaron Boots Ennis fight. And I mean, the rewards, who gets the majority of the money, or what, the pay-per-view sales, how the money is split, really, like who benefits long term. I mean, guys, who controls the aspects of the fight. And so there was a lot of that was kind of going on. One guy loses and suddenly the future superstar value drops, right, for that individual, right? So and again, this is where the problem started, because I think boxing understands that both of these fighters are the future of boxing. Rather than these guys facing each other, which ideally is the kind of fight that I want to see, they're going to fight other opponents and then hopefully eventually have a super fight against one another, right? Anyways, both Ortiz Jr. and Jaron Boots Ennis, my apologies, is Ortiz Jr., who's had a very long layoff, and due to health issues and all the contractual problems he's having with his current promoter. But Boots has stayed active and he continues to build momentum. And I mean, honestly, okay, so you're talking about weight classes. Ortiz moved to 154 pounds. Jaron Boots Ennis finished off at 147, but now is at 154. And at 154, he's looking past Vergil Ortiz Jr. and he's looking at the likes of Xander Zayas. Xander Zayas, guys, and to be fair, this is going to be an unbelievably great fight. I mean, top rank is seriously interested here. Matchroom is interested. DAZN is there. They're in the wings. They want to promote this. They want the TV rights to this deal. The business between Xander and Jaron is working out very well, and it lines up a lot better this time around than Jaron Boots Ennis and Vergil Ortiz Jr. But this is why things are moving along a lot quicker, because everyone is seeing, they're all agreeing, they're all on the same page, and it's just moving things a lot more quicker in an expedited fashion, the way things should be. But again, that proves a point, because this fight should have happened first. All right. Anyways, guys, this is the reason why a lot of people are getting pissed off at boxing and pissed off at the promoters. Maybe Dana White's got maybe there's something about Dana White and something about what he's trying to do, and he's trying to mitigate from these kind of things happening. And maybe Zuffa's the answer. I don't know. Anyways, guys, there is a bigger issue unfolding in the eyes of boxing. Timing is everything. Obviously, I mean, you can have the most perfect matchup. Like we knew, we had Jaron Boots Ennis and Vergil Ortiz Jr., the perfect matchup. But if the operational side of things doesn't line up at that exact moment, it slips away, it fades away into ether, and it probably never resurfaces. So fans are always left wondering what could have been. And I'm sick and tired, because in the day and age that we live in, we should be able to have answers. We should be able to move past this and be able to get the fights that we want to see. Anyways, guys, that's the cost of waiting, unfortunately, in this sport. But I mean, looking ahead, Jaron Boots Ennis versus Xander Zayas could be a major fight. Real stakes. We're talking about real belts, and we got momentum here, and we've got all the stars aligned. The promoters are talking with one another. They're excited. They want to make this happen. And DAZN's involved. And yes, guys, I mean, this is a fight that should happen and will happen most likely. They were actually just talking about it on the Ariel Helwani show as well too. It looks like this fight's going to happen. So at the end of the day, guys, this isn't really necessarily about Jaron Boots Ennis' next opponent. This is about how boxing continues to miss out on very key moments. For Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy, this could have been a huge opportunity. And it could have been a great opportunity for Vergil Ortiz Jr. as well. And actually for all the people involved, Jaron Boots Ennis, his team, Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing, the whole world, DAZN, everyone would have been happy. But unfortunately, due to boxing politics, this is what happens. It anchored this fight. But now there's a silver lining at the end of the tunnel, because guess what? Now we might have Xander Zayas versus Jaron Boots Ennis Jr. And it looks like it's actually going to be happening, right? So the talent is there. The fights are there. The timing, everything is falling in place. And that's the way I think we're going and we're headed. Unfortunately, again, boxing missed its mark with Boots Ennis and Vergil Ortiz Jr. But, on the flip side, it looks like we might have another great opportunity right around the corner, guys. Anyways, that's my thoughts on things. I want to hear your thoughts and comments below. If you guys like this commentary, please smash a like and subscribe, and I look forward to catching you guys. Tomorrow's video is going to be great, guys. We're talking about Jon Jones and the $15 million 8-figure deal that could have landed him headlining UFC Freedom 250 at the White House card on June 14th against none other than Alex Pereira, but now that's fizzled off as well. Another opportunity lost by the wayside. Anyways, guys, the pleasure was all mine. Thank you guys for sticking around. I look forward to catching you guys in tomorrow's video.